Okay, so what we're working on in this section is solving multi-step inequalities. And you already know how to solve inequalities. And remember, we learned this one rule right here. This is the most important rule about inequalities. And that's when you multiply or divide by a negative, you must flip the inequality. So remember to do that. Now this time, though, we will start to get into some no solution and some infinite solution inequalities. And so what happens with both of these is that these occur when the variables cross off. So something happens and we're able to get rid of the variables on both sides. So let's say I have 2x plus 5 is greater than 2x plus 7. If I subtract the 2x on both sides, the x's are gone, and I'm left with 5 is greater than 7. Well, 5 is not bigger than 7, so this is a no solution because it's a false statement. So no solution statements are when you get false inequalities. So that means that when you have an infinite solution, these are true inequalities. So if I have 2x plus 5 is greater than 2x plus 5, if I minus 2x on both sides, I should actually switch this. Let's make it 15 here, because otherwise it's not going to be true. So it'll be 15 is greater than 5. 15 is greater than 5, so it's true. If I had 5 greater than 5, like I started off with, this is not true. Unless I make it equal. If I make it equal, then it's true. But if it's just 5 is greater than 5, then that is not true. Okay, so let's try and do a couple problems. So remember, we kind of draw our line down and we get rid of what's not touching the x. So I'm first going to get rid of the minus 2 by adding 2. And I get x divided by 5 is greater than or equal to negative 4. And now to get rid of a divide by 5, you multiply by 5. And remember, I'm multiplying, but I multiplied by a positive number. So even though my answer is negative, I don't switch it. So 20, negative 20, it's a closed circle, and it's greater than, so it's going to go to the right. Okay? What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to try this second one here. When you think you have it, go ahead and press play. Okay, so maybe some of you did this first, flip the inequality. If you didn't, you're still going to get the same thing. So you should have distributed. Don't forget to distribute to the 3. And so now I got to get rid of this minus 6 by adding 6. And then I'm going to get rid of a times 2 by dividing by 2. And I get a is greater than 7. And so 0, 7, and negative 7. It's an open circle at 7, and it goes to the right. Okay, so down here we have somewhere we have inequality, our variables on both sides, and that happens. So I'm going to minus 2x, get rid of the variables first. I'm going to always move my variables to the left, so that way I don't have to switch my inequalities. And so 5x minus 2x is 3x, and then 10. So then to get rid of a minus 2, you add 2. And so 3x is greater than or equal to 12. And to get rid of a times 3, you divide by 3. So x is greater than or equal to 4. So now I put my numbers on my number line. And it's a closed circle at 4. And it says x is greater than, so I go to the right. Okay, number 3. It's a little harder, but not too bad. You've done things like this before. The first thing you have to do is distribute. Remember, you always try and distribute first. And so I get 3x plus 2x minus 2, take it to both numbers, is less than 5x plus 6. I'm going to combine my terms first, and so I get 5x minus 2 is less than or equal to 5x plus 6. And then I'm going to minus my 5x on both sides, and look what happens. They cross off. They're gone. So I get negative 2 is less than or equal to 6. So this is either a no solution or an infinite solution. And the way you tell is if it's true or false. Well, negative 2 is smaller than 6, so this is a true statement. So this is in all reals or infinite solutions. Okay, so remember you solve the equations just like you, or the inequalities just like you solve equations, except for this step. If you multiply or divide by a negative, you have to flip the inequality.